Good evening, everybody. This is Pamela King with Primo Kreations. I'm actually starting this video all over again because I paused it because my little buddy said he had to go outside and he didn't. So I've already put my bowl in the oven for 14 minutes. It's a Hamilton Beach XL rotisserie chicken oven. It is set at 400 degrees and it's going to cook for 14 minutes. We are in, I do believe, oops, I forgot to hit start. So we're about 12 minutes into this. I have an internal thermometer in there to help me with this. So what I've done is I've trimmed my design, and the way I trim it is so the design, I tear it instead of leaving the hard edges on there because I don't want the hard edges, and it makes it easier to trim to to conform to such a round design. So I just trim it by hand by tearing it up like this, and that's my buddy saying he's got to go outside. And then he does that because he was trained with treats, so he can hit the doorbell. And what I'll do next is, let me pause. Thank you. He actually did have to go out, so I just let him out. So we'll go back to it. So now I've trimmed the design, and I also learned how to pause a video, everybody. And so next is I'm going to conform it around the tape, and Chewbacca down, baby. Yes, the joys of working from home. So I'm actually getting a little help because I just unpackaged the bowl, so it has a little static cling to it still. I'm going to trim it just a little bit more right here. And I already know that I'm trimming it a little bit more closer to the design because I do know that it has a harder time. I got to work to get it a little closer. I also want to add another large heart, and I'm going to do something a little different this time. And I'm going to tell you why. My first bowl I did, my silhouette came out really, really streaked. I didn't get it close enough to the bowl. Then I also put a heart under the handle, and it didn't work so well, but I'm going to try. I tried a different way to shrink wrap it earlier with the one that's in the bowl, and I'm going to do it again. And this time, just to test how well it works, I'm going to put one of the hearts underneath the handle just to see how that tests how to work well by doing it that way. And just so you can see, so I put that heart right here under the handle. And anyone who sublimates, you know that when you do a mug and you're sublimating a mug, getting it under the handle is really, really hard. And just gonna line it. So I'm just lining it up on here where I want it. And actually pulled it away a little bit. I think that's where I want it to be. Okay, we're at 7 minutes, so I'm going to rotate my other mug. And I'll tell you another trick that I've done too with while doing this is I actually have the oven, and you hear my dog running. He's playing. It's playtime. And would you believe he was sleeping up until I started the video, and then all of a sudden it was time for him. He wanted to get up. He wasn't actually sleeping. He was just resting. But you know how it is. They never want to do anything until you get busy. So, and I'm just making a slight adjustment by pulling up the design where I want it on the bowl to where I want it to be placed. Now, this is the silhouette side, so I'm going to cut some slits because I know that it's hard for it to lay down in there, so I'm gonna give myself some slits. Also, right in my name, it tends to want to pucker a little bit, so I'm just cutting some slits in there to so I have some room to work with. And on this design, tape is really my friend. Now, there are things that you could do. I could take this design apart and just do it in pieces. I have done that before, where I've put it in pieces instead of trying to do it as one strip of paper. And I just lifted it a little too high. And this is where I spend the bulk of my time with this particular design, just because I made the silhouette a little large. I wanted it large, but I think I made it a little too large. So if I was to do this for a client, I would make the silhouette just a tad bit smaller. All right. Okay, so we're good. So now I'm just going to go around and I'm just going to tape like crazy. Tape is my friend in this stage. It's not so much my friend when it comes to working. Oh, it's not quite ready. When it comes to taking it out of the oven, and this one is the one that's in the oven is actually almost ready. And the way I had this planned was this one would be done taped, would be already taped up and ready to go in the oven by the time the other one was finished. But my puppy dog had other plans for me. So I lifted it back up because as I was taping it down on this side, I had a little give, and I didn't want that give. I want it to be as tight against the bowl as possible. And as far as the slits, if I have any excess to pull it, to help me pull, I'm pulling it towards the white side. And then I'm taping down any kind of like bubbles that I have. And sometimes I have to go back and lift up some tape just to make sure I get a smoother fit if the tape is coming down over any part of the design. And in this case, it is. I'm keeping an eye on what's going on in the oven. And we're down to about almost 3 minutes. And so I can see in here that with the silhouette being black, I can see that it's coming through in the oven. Let's see, where is it? There you are. And that's a good sign because it means it's almost done. I'm keeping pressure down here at the base of the bowl so that the design is being taped close. You can kind of see the silhouette through there. So right here is where the base of that design is. And I'm just making sure I tape it real close to the bowl. Now I'll go over here towards my name. I want to get that done. So of course the plan was to put that one in the oven so you can see what I'm doing, and as I cook it, and then have this one ready to go, and then end the video. But we'll work with what we got here. So I'm just taping it down. I'm using a lot of tape because I want to make sure that this cooks. I don't know if you heard my puppy race across the kitchen. He is a puppy. He's only about 12 weeks old. He is a little darling. And I trained him to use the bell. So, okay, so I got the bottom of it pretty well taped, but I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to stop it right there. And I'm going to go ahead. So, like I said, I'm watching what's going on in the oven, and I can see my design is cooking pretty well. Since I did not start it right off, it's a little long, so I'm going to pull it out. And in case you can't see, this is a cutting board I have here. So this is what it looks like. When I was talking about, see the silhouette, you can see it through. That's a good sign. So I'm just going to use my weeding tool here, cut me a hole. And I'm pulling this all apart as fast as I can because it's cooking. And I'm getting rid of it. I probably should have waited a little bit. I just put it in the trash. But there's a bag in there. Hopefully it won't melt the bag. It dries pretty quick, so that's my hope. It'll keep drying. Or it cools pretty quick. And then I'm using the weeding tool here to grab the edges of my tape. Now the thing about that is you have to be very careful with the weeding tool because if you scratch it against your design underneath the paper, it will leave a mark in there. So let me see if I can get this. Oh, it's hot. Hot, hot, hot. And I have, and these are heat gloves, y'all. And they're still hot. So I'm just using my weeding tool here to pull the tape and paper away. Handle came out pretty well, and I'm really glad with that. And I'm going to show you why I am too in just a minute, because I tried a different process. If you sublimate, like I said, the handle is also another really tricky area to get, and to get it to work well. There he is at the bell. He wants a treat. That's what that is. So since I just let him out, I know that's all he wants is a treat. So I'm just gonna pick away here. Pull that out because I don't want the ink to get on the inside of my mug. And I'm just trying to get under that tape. Now, I've already done 2 other mugs, and I did them pretty much the same way with the tape. And I kid you not, it wasn't this hard to get the paper to come up as it is right now. Pretty sure it's just my friend Murphy there that's contributing to it. Now, normally I'd already have all this paper and tape off of here, but like I said, I guess Murphy is just having some fun with me, just like my puppy dog. And alright, cool. I managed to not scratch her up. That's good, that's good, that's good. It is looking good, y'all. Wait till you see it. Wait until you see it. I got tape everywhere. Okay, so let me tell you about these bowls. So I got them for Kunde, and this design is one that I just fell in love with. So these bowls are for me. I have made several, I can't tell you, I made like tons of stuff with this for me. In the kitchen, I have hot pads, made towels, my cups, everything. And I just love this design. I have several other silhouette designs. It just so happens that this one looks like me. Now, what can you use these bowls for? So King Primo Kreations, we like to work with small businesses. We work with large businesses as well. But small businesses, they tend to, their funds are a little bit more limited. And therefore, you know, they may only want a 25 or something versus 250, 300 or something. So, but that's hard for them to find someone who will do that for them. So we make swag for them, as well as small or large businesses as well. Individuals, we do this too for individuals. Can businesses use these type of items? Yes, they can. These are, I would tell them, you know, these chili bowls would be great for your staff, because guess what? They eat lunch at the very least at work. And this would be great. The mugs would be great. They really appreciate, you could put your logo on here or something special just for that. And I could tell you I've worked for companies that did. So this is the finished product. Let me see. I got a little paper and tape left on the top of this. I'm going to take that off before I show you. Get it. There you go. And like I said, I have tape. You should see, I had tape on everything. So we're going to turn it back on, so I don't want it to stop cooking. I don't want it to cool down on me. So I'll put the other one. Oh, so I lost one. Okay. Not a problem. Alright. So this is the finished bowl. Look at that. That silhouette came out beautifully. Okay. And look at that handle. That's the best handle I've done yet. I got one heart, the one at the very top didn't quite cook, but that's okay. So that's just, maybe what I'll do is I'll place it a little lower, but the one on the bottom too was a little faded, but I would much prefer that to that. That's not bad at all. I mean, can you get any better on mass production? I don't think so. So that's what the finished bowl looks like. So we'll go back and let me finish showing you how I taped it up. So as you can see, I got it liberally taped at the bottom where I'm pressing down. Now I'm taping the top part of it. The top part will be a lot easier just because I've gotten most of the bubbles out of it. So, but I like I did on the other one, I'll concentrate on getting the tape on over the silhouette really well, because I want to make sure there's no ghosting there. So that means it's got to be laid flat against the bowl. What are you? No, baby, don't eat the paper. He's eating the paper that I dropped. No, don't eat the paper. He stole a piece, y'all. He stole it and took off running. And Mama was being good. So I'm just going around here, and I'm using a lot. It's better to use too much tape than not enough, because if you don't use enough, you'll get that ghosting, and that's the last thing you want. All right, and I think we just about, I think I'm pretty good. You're back for more, I see. He's back for more. So you won't see me take this one out of the oven. You saw the other one, but you'll see how I get it ready for the oven. Oh, now the handle. I did forget I need to do the handle. Take the handle. And you can see I didn't even push all the tape down. It's lifting up a little bit. That's fine. I just wanted it over the ridge. The handle down. And, you know, when you're doing this, make sure you're checking that you put everything right side up, because let me tell you, it is way too easy to put everything upside down. And I see a little bit of a bubble here. And then as far as the handle, you know, lots of tape, because you got to get it to lay flat. Because if it doesn't lay flat, it won't, the image won't go through. It won't hook to the bowl. Every piece of paper I dropped, he's finding it. Alright, I think we're good. I think that is pretty good. So, now, this is a heat gun. I actually bought this from Home Depot. And I actually saw it on one of Conde's weekday classes. I actually have two. I have one I bought from Harbor Freight, and I love that one. And I love this one too. I'm using this one because it allows me to do hands-free operation. So, first things first. I am going to do, I cut a piece of the sublimate shrink wrap, and I'm going to put it on, wrap it around my handle. It's something I just tried with the other bowl, and you saw it. And let me tell you, I had a devil of a time. So I'm going to, because it kept wanting to pull away. And I think I had like almost 2 coats worth of sublimate shrink wrap there on the handle. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm cutting a slit on either side of the seam. And the seam, I chose the seam because it just seemed like a good place. So you can see I cut a slit here. And this is going under the handle. And then the rest of the bowl will go inside. See? And I think the last time I didn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway on this side. I'm going to cut a second slit. I didn't do it on the last one, but I'm going to do it on this one. Just to help myself. So it looks like that. So I put the slits underneath the handle here. Okay, so the slits are both under the handle. There's the handle, there's the slits, and then the open sides. And now I am going to shrink wrap this. And the whole reason I did those slits was because I wanted to get that heart. I wanted to see if I could get something under the handle. And the whole reason I couldn't on the other ones is because I just couldn't get that shrink wrap to go underneath there really well. So we're going to do that part of the mug first. Let me put my gloves on because it does get hot. And I'm not going to talk while it goes because the gun is kind of loud, okay? I need to make sure I don't shrink it too much on that end. That'll leave me a little bit. So you see how it's shrinking there? And I'm going to get the top as well. And the bottom. So you want to be careful with the shrink wrap because you don't want it to, it will melt. But if you melt a hole in it, my suggestion is just start all over again. Just pull it off and get another piece of shrink wrap there. Okay. And actually, I think that's pretty good. Alright. So there it is, all shrink wrapped. Because this is over a design, I want to make sure I got it pretty well there. And I did the top too. And then there's that handle. So you can see this is all the stuff under the handle right here. And this is all on top. And that's why that one came out so well. I want to do one more thing. Hold on. Alright, so I'm going to put it in the oven for 14 minutes. I'm going to move this. And it's at 400 degrees, okay? Now, while that cooks, let me show you. I want to show you what the first one looked like. So this is all trial and error. A lot of times it's trial and error until we get it right, and then we just document how well we did. That's not my first cup. That's my second. So here's my first chili bowl. And you see, this is all because I didn't get the design flush against the bowl. And the handle is not too bad. There's a little bit of ghosting, but not bad. And I didn't even cover it. So, and there's a little more ghosting. But that's all, I would tell you, that's all because of the fact that I did not get that design close to the bowl. So bowl number 2. See that? Look at that design. Look at that. And the handle, it did really good too. A little more ghosting at the top than anything. So, and this is where I moved the heart. And this is where I had the heart under the handle. So it really didn't do bad. I mean, it lost a little bit of the design in the corner here. But it didn't do bad considering I didn't have the shrink wrap all the way under there. So because of that, I moved the heart to the side. That heart right there to the side. But as you saw, this time around what I did was, oh no, this is the same one. So this one I did the same thing. I moved the design to the side. So we'll see how it comes out with the bowl number 4. Bowl number 3 is where I shrink wrap the handle. So now everybody in the sublimation community, and I will share it with Conde as well, to do the handle, just shrink wrap the handle. And then it'll come out, right? We saw it. As I was saying, there's all kinds of things you can do with the cups and stuff for companies. Companies, you want to do the water bottles? This is the water bottle. And like I said, I did these all are mine for my personal use. I have the tumbler for myself. I use these all the time. Do not put these in the dishwasher. It's better to hand wash them. Even the mugs. This one I did for Mother's Day. So it says Mom. It's got the silhouette and we have different designs on there. And then for those of you who do the business, you'll say, well, how do I put my logo on there when I'm doing it for another business or reorder information? I'm using the Conde Mates. And these things, you can wash them, wash dry. I have used them for years. I have another cup that I did, and I've had that on that cup for like 2 years. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, here's the cup. Over 2 years of wash and dry, there's nothing wrong with it. Also, I also did that design. I'm telling you, if I could, I would do plates. But they had dessert plates, but not dish size plates. So these are the hot pads that I did for myself. I have them on totes. I did the towel. Now, this is the only thing that's not from Conde, from my vendor Conde. This one, I actually got this towel, believe it or not, at the Dollar Tree. And I sublimated it. You have to be careful with the certain polyesters because you will melt them. So I learned that one too. And it was just trial and error. Let's see. It is almost time for me to turn that over. And I forgot to start the timer, everybody. So good thing is I've been watching the time, so I know. I'll know when it's about ready. So those are all the items that I've done with this particular design in my own kitchen. I can do these for individuals. They can put their name on them. They can choose different silhouettes. They can choose different colors. You don't have to have hearts. When I was doing this, the heart really called to me. So you can do, I have friends that love butterflies or something else if you want. We can do it. Just contact me here at King Primo Kreations. I have a YouTube channel, King Primo Kreations. We have the Facebook, King Primo Kreations, Instagram, King Primo Kreations, and Kreations is spelled with a K. We work with businesses of all sizes and individuals. We can customize these to fit the business with the business logo for you to give to your staff members as appreciation gifts. We can do these as for individuals who have who want them either for themselves or to give them to special friends for birthdays, Christmas, you name it. We can do anything just about. Cutting boards, I will be doing a cutting board with this too, and we'll do another video so you can see how that's made. Today, this was done because I am a veteran, I'm a disabled veteran, and the heat press was a little hard for me to work today, so the oven was the best choice. So everybody, I encourage you to purchase from a small home-based business and from a veteran small home-based business because we all need you. The world is a better place when individuals and companies buy from small businesses, especially your local ones, because that puts local dollars back into your communities. So for those of you who are here in McDonough, Georgia, hook me up. If you're across the country, hook me up. I can help you. I send everything via UPS. I don't use the post office too much, but UPS will get it there to you. Even during Christmas time, I haven't had any shipping problems. Thank you, UPS. Thank you, Conde. And thank you all for supporting a veteran home-based business. This is King Primo Kreations saying thank you and have a blessed day.